Hej, kompisar, hur är läget? This is Welsh ASMR 82. 82. Hey, how you doing? I wanted to do a quiz on Sweden to test my knowledge of this country that I have a little bit of an obsession, just a little obsession. I made an entire YouTube channel dedicated to it. So I found one on Swedish Nomad, and I'm having a bad hair day, so I decided not to show my face and just to look at my phone instead. How inconsiderate of myself, how vain. Anyway, I'm going to do this video in English so that non-Swedish people, speaking people, can take part as well. And it's easier because this is in English too. It's a fun little quiz with 20 questions testing my knowledge, and I think it's going to give me the answers straight away. Also, can I just state for the record, the advertisements are mental. I think I must have turned off targeted adverts. At least I hope I have, because they're all trying to sell me women's period pads. So I'm not quite sure why that is. But yeah, if you see that every 5 seconds, then I apologise. Okay. Should we get started? I really hope you enjoy this video, and if you want me to do it for, see if I can find the same sort of thing for Denmark, Norway, Finland, etc. Now we are a Nordics channel, not just a Swedish channel. Then drop me a comment. And obviously give me a like as well. Go on, be crazy. Okay. What is the national animal of Sweden? Is it a moose, a fox, a deer? Oops, no, that's a deer. That's a funny looking deer. Or a bear. Now I'm pretty sure you've got all 4 in Sweden. The thought terrifies me because living in Britain, we do have deer actually, but otherwise fox would be considered one of our largest mammals. We just don't have anything that big, let alone bears roaming the woods. Also, I'm pretty sure that you've got wolves now in Sweden again, haven't you? After they went extinct and then came back. Maybe not. But I think you will in the next sort of 50 years, because they're making a return via Romania, I think. Anyway, I digress. What is the national animal of Sweden? I'm thinking it's a moose, because the number of times that Duolingo has made me memorize the word elk in Swedish, älg, I believe. Är det rätt? Älg. So an elk is a type of moose, I believe, or is a moose. I think moose is the North American term for it. So I'm going to pick that. I can't imagine a fox is the national animal. Correct. And there's some more adverts. The moose is considered the national animal of Sweden, though it's not official. However, the moose has long been considered a symbol for the country, which is reflected in souvenirs and marketing campaigns abroad. How many World Heritage Sites are there in Sweden? I think this is the castle at Kalmar, but I'm not sure. So it's either 10, 20, 15 or 17. And I remember seeing facts about other countries where they boast about having X amount of World Heritage Sites, and actually 10 is a lot. For a single country, I doubt it's 20. It's probably more likely one of the ones in between, like 15. So I'm going to guess that. Haha. Power of deduction. There are 15 places in Sweden that have been listed as World Heritage Sites by UNESCO. Some of the most famous ones include the city walls of Visby on Gotland. That must be that. Close to what I said. Gammelstad Churchtown in Luleå. Skog Kyrkogården in Stockholm, and Drottningholm Castle. I think I've been to Drottningholm Castle. Okay. Easy one. What is the capital of Sweden? So it's clearly Stockholm. Stockholm is the capital of Sweden, as well as the largest city in Sweden. Approximately 1 million people live in the city, or 1.6 million people in the metropolitan area. The other two are Malmö, Kiruna, and Gothenburg, Göteborg. How many people are there in Sweden, circa? So approximately. So as far as I understand, there are 10. It must be just over now, 10.5. And I believe 25% of those weren't born in Sweden. Yes. In 2022 there were around 10.5 million people living in Sweden, which makes Sweden the most populated country of Scandinavia, as well as the Nordic countries. Off the top of my head, I think Denmark and Finland are both 5 million. And Norway just a little bit less, maybe 4 million. Something like that. And Iceland, famously something like 200,000, isn't it? Normally, I would find the next question a bit of a random one, but because I happen to know the answer off the top of my head, I don't care. Which is the 4th largest city in Sweden? I believe it's Uppsala, because Gothenburg is the 2nd city, Malmö is the 3rd, and I think that Uppsala is the 4th. But after that I have no idea. Uppsala is the 4th largest city in Sweden, with a population of 164,535 people within the city limits. So again, nearly the entire population of Iceland. Which is the highest mountain in Sweden? Storberget, big mountain, Sarek-Choko, Kebnekaise, or Vikingaberget, Viking mountain. I think I did a video for my maps channel recently where Kebnekaise came up, and I thought the word was so unusual I seem to have memorized it. Kebnekaise is the highest mountain in Sweden, located in the northern part of the country. There are 2 main peaks, Nordtoppen and Sydtoppen. The total height varies from year to year, depending on the amount of glacier ice on top of the highest peak. Wow, that's a cool fact. Okay, so up until now, I think I've got them all right. But that's where this ends, because I'm not sure of the next couple. How many lakes are there in Sweden? Approximately, circa. Now, I know there's a lot. I know there are a lot. But are there 100,000? 5,000, 15,000, 70,000? The fact there are, I mean, just looking at the questions, I'm thinking because there's 2 with 5 in the number, that is probably that one. But I know that the Swedish Navy is one of the best in the world, isn't it? Haven't you got stealth boats? In case someone tries to invade you, I think you can get around most of Sweden in the water. There are 100,000 lakes in Sweden, making it one of the countries in the world with the highest number of lakes. I'd imagine Finland's quite close as well. Which is the southernmost point in Sweden? Sandhammaren, Treriksröset, Smygehuk, Southern Bridge of Ystad. Ystad is on the south coast. Southern Bridge of Ystad. Yeah, I'm going to say Ystad because I've never even heard of the other places. Oh no. Smygehuk is the southernmost point of Sweden. It has been a small fishing village since the 1600s. Nowadays, it's a popular attraction and stop on road trips. At Smygehuk, one can also eat the southernmost shrimp sandwich in Sweden. Southernmost shrimp sandwich in Sweden is quite difficult to say. Smygehuk, southernmost shrimp sandwich, Sweden. Smygehuk. Yeah, we have Land's End in the UK. I've been to Land's End, literally just to say I've been to the most southern tip of the mainland of Great Britain. Okay, now on to serious topics. What is this Swedish pastry called? Now, I saw it immediately said kanelbullar in my head and then had to translate, so I think it's cinnamon bun in English. The cinnamon bun, or kanelbulle, as we say in Swedish, is one of the most famous pastries from Sweden. Almost every cafe in the country will have a cinnamon bun for sale. Yes. I'm pretty sure I had one when I was in Stockholm in a cafe. Although I really want, from reading it in a book, I really want the one that is like a mix of everything. You call it the vacuum cleaner bun, I think. But my mind's gone blank for the Swedish now. For vacuum cleaner in Swedish. Anyway, put it in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. Which is better, kanelbulle for fika, or is it the vacuum cleaner bun? Okay, I don't really know this one. Who is the current king of Sweden? Carl Gustaf, Magnus Stenbock, Frederick I, Gustav Vasa. I recognise Carl Gustaf and Gustav Vasa, but I think one of them is like an historical figure. So I'm going to say Carl Gustaf, but it might be Gustav Vasa. I don't think it's either of those two. Oh, yes. Carl the 16th, Gustav, is the current king of Sweden. He's been the king since 1973, so he's old since before I was born, and is married to Queen Sylvia. He took over the throne from his grandfather, King Gustav VI Adolf. So not his father, his grandfather. Interesting. What is the coldest temperature ever recorded in Sweden? -56, -42, -52, -46. Well, they're all a pattern. Now, bearing in mind that the north of Sweden is in the Arctic Circle, ever so slightly, where Sami begins, the Lapland. I wouldn't be shocked if it got up to 56, but I'll hedge my bets because the multiple choice, I'll say 52. Yeah. The coldest temperature ever recorded in Sweden was -52.6 degrees Celsius. Or for you Americans, -61.6 Fahrenheit. In Vågat-Jolme, back in 1966. This is also the coldest temperature in all of the Nordic countries. Probably because there are parts of Sweden which are furthest from the coast, whereas Norway is quite thin, and Finland, I don't know, basically read somewhere that the reason that Russia or Siberia is so cold is because it's so far from an ocean, because winds from the ocean will warm a particular place up, so that's why it's so cold. So yeah, the further inland you are, the more likely it is for it to be colder, I think. What is the most sacred house rule in Sweden? No alcohol at home, no pets allowed indoors, no eating in front of the TV, take your shoes off indoors. Surely it's taking your shoes off, but then am I getting it confused with Korea and Japan? Yeah. No shoes indoors is the most sacred house rule in Sweden. It is considered very rude to walk inside someone's house or apartment without taking your shoes off. It's highly frowned upon. There are many unwritten rules of Swedish society. Most Swedes are well aware of these and abide by them at all times. In Britain it's not, but my parents were quite strict, so I always ask people whether they want me to take my shoes off, and sometimes they say no, and most of the time they say yes. But there's no rule on it. It's very British, actually, that like like people want you to take your shoes off, but are too polite to ask, And then if you don't, they're really subconsciously angry with you, but won't tell you because we don't talk about feelings. We're too polite. How many paid parental days can you get in Sweden? I'm not sure of the question. Is a parental day paternity leave? And if so, I can't remember how many anyone gets. I'm going to guess and say it's something like 182, 100. How many months is that? 30 in a month, so 30, 60, 90. That's 6 months. I reckon that's about right. Because I think in Sweden the men get the same as women. I think they do. Oh, I'm wrong. 480. Good God. Which is among the highest number of paid parental days in the world. Sweden is known for being one of the most family-friendly countries worldwide. That is unbelievable. 480. What even is that? That's like a year and... I'm trying to work it out. 180. My maths is terrible. 123. 1 year and 3 months. Oh my God. That is insane. What is the currency of Sweden? Easy peasy. It's the Swedish crown, or the krona, the SEK. The currency of Sweden is called the Swedish crown. In the Swedish language they are called kronor. Yeah, kronor. Seems many languages, including Czech, I believe. How many official national minorities are there in Sweden? I had a little think about this before making the video. And I got confused because I was looking at Finland recently, and I think in Finland there is something, it's like quite a high number, like 5, or at least 3. I think in Finland it's Sami, Romani, and maybe Kurdish, or a couple of others. But I think it's only the Sami in Sweden, so I think it's 1. It's not 0. I'm very sure the Sami are an official minority, but I don't think it's 3 or 5. Oh, it is 5. These are the Sami, Jews, the Roma, the Sweden Finns, and the Tornedalians. What is a Tornedalian? They are all recognized by the government as official minority groups. Oh, so it's the same as Finland. Or maybe I'm getting confused. Maybe it was Sweden I was looking at. Interesting. Sami, Jews, Roma, Sweden Finns, Tornedalians. I'm going to look up Tornedalians after this. This one shocked me. Which Caribbean island was part of the Kingdom of Sweden in the 19th century? Antigua and Barbuda, Saint Barthélemy, Barbados or Barbados. Whoopsie daisy. So, I think it must be Saint Barthélemy because I think the others were part of the Great British, whatever it was called, the British overseas. Yeah. Saint Barthélemy was part of the Swedish West Indies. I cannot believe there's Swedish West Indies. From 1784 to 1878. After that, the island was sold to France. The Swedish legacy can be seen today in town and street names. What is the name of this traditional pastry that is eaten every year on the 13th of December? Now, I don't know this, but I'm going to guess vanilla bun, because lussekatt doesn't sound like anything. Semla sounds like semolina, like a type of grain. Solroenbulle, the sun shining bun. It's on the 13th of December. So I think it's vanilla. Oh, what is it? Lussekatt. In the picture you can see the typical pastry that is eaten on St. Lucy's Day, Lucia, every day on the 13th of December. The pastry is known as lussekatt or lussebun. Lussebulle. The one that I said it definitely wasn't. What date is the National Day of Sweden celebrated? I'm really sorry, I don't know this. This must be so easy for you. In Wales it's the 1st of March. That's St. David's Day. And it's also my mother's birthday. but we don't actually have a day off anymore. When I was a child, we used to have a half day, but then they stopped it, and now it's just like a normal working day, unfortunately. What date is the National Day? I think it's like the 6th of June or July. 6th of May. Oh no. It might be the 6th of May. I thought it was June or July though. It makes sense to have it in the summer in Sweden, doesn't it? Because, you know, you've got like time off and you're enjoying the outside sun. I'm gonna go with my first instinct. Oh yes. The National Day of Sweden is celebrated each year on the 6th of June. It's a holiday, so people are usually free from work. I don't think anyone works in the summer in Sweden, do they? Okay, this might be... oh no. Whom of these famous Vikings were from Sweden? I have a problem with the grammar. I don't think it's whom. Whom is the accusative of who. Who amongst these famous Vikings were from Sweden? It's not whom. Anyway. Eric the Red, Leif Erikson, Sweyn Forkbeard, Björn Ironside. I'm gonna go, because they all sound Viking-y. Björn has the umlaut of the O, which does not happen in Norwegian or Danish. So I think it might be that one. Yeah. Björn Ironside was the son of Ragnar Lodbrok. And a famous Viking that was also one of the legendary kings in Sweden during the Viking Age. How much of Sweden's total area is covered by trees? I basically think it's most of it. Oh, this is the last question. Oh, Denmark, Norway. Lush. How much of Sweden's total area is covered by trees? Most of it, to be honest. So it's not a quarter, it's not a third. 2/4, you mean half? 2/4, what? 2/3, I'm going to go for 2/3, because that's like majority. Yeah. Approximately 2/3 of Sweden's total area is covered by trees. However, the majority of trees are standing in various plantations. Only around 10 to 15% of the trees in Sweden are part of a natural forest. Wow, really? Oh, look, you got 15 out of 20 correct. A Swede in the family. Your knowledge of Sweden is very good. Thank you. Tack. You must have a relative from Sweden, nay? You know more about Sweden than many Swedes themselves. Well done. Oh, that's made me so happy. Okay, well, I can easily do one on Denmark and Norway, so drop a comment and ask me to do them, and I'll do them next week. Okay, thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you're enjoying all the videos. Drop me a comment, let me know how proud you are of me. Also leave a like and subscribe if this is the first time on the channel. Välkommen. Välkomna. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys really, really soon. Take care, bye 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 bye, vi ses, bye.